I was the mean girl.
That's shocking.
I'm shooketh.
I was the one that was friends with everybody. Are you surprised?
Not at all. I was the person everybody wanted. I was the person everybody wanted to be friends with, but I didn't want to be friends with anybody. Yeah. It's like, no, you're not good enough. Yeah. How dare you wear that shirt in my presence? Nothing's changed.
Everyone. I was friends with everyone too, but I was homely looking. I was rough. It was rough.
I can't believe that. I bet you were handsome and you just didn't realize you were.
Yeah, it like she's all that.
Basically. Yeah, like you took off your glasses and your hair came out of that ponytail, and it was like, oh wow, look at Joe.
All right, you guys
Let's ready? Get it.
All right,
get it started in here.
I don't know where that came from. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Condone Yourself. Here talking about season 14, episode 13, the unlucky episode for
really
you. For some. I'm Joe, and we have OT.
What's up, people?
And we have Kelly.
Hey, everybody.
And let's talk about it. I thought this was. I'm smiling because I thought this was a really good episode, and I'm very anxious to talk about the end. So I can't remember what happened at the beginning.
It's a good part. I was so happy that 2 people got eliminated.
Yes, I think the world was happy that 2 people got eliminated.
We were like, thank goodness.
Yeah, we needed to get down to 5.
And how out of the group remaining that anybody in that bottom 3, I would have been fine going home. I was just like, okay, I have no anxiety about this.
Nothing.
Lip sync or who they'll choose. If they send all 3, that's fine.
I will say I'm happy that they chose the correct winner. That's all I will say about that. They chose the correct winner.
Well, I think that
totally agree.
That angsty Olivia Rodrigo song plays right into Daya's hands. I mean, especially what she was wearing, her makeup, kind of punk rock.
I couldn't deny that she won that lip sync by a long shot to me. By a long shot.
And it helps that she's like 8 feet tall. So
that also helps.
A presence on the stage. I do also
technically think 7.2 if you do the math
correctly. I do also think though that Georgia escaped. Like she didn't want to be there anymore. You could even see it in her dancing. I mean, she was still like trying to turn it out, but
you saw it the whole episode.
Yeah.
And it's not the first time.
No.
And the fact that in Untucked, she said, I felt a sense of relief when she got eliminated. For me, at the very least, it was good that Bosco pointed it out last week. You know, when she was like, at this point, RuPaul has signed up to be an organ donor for Georges, right?
Yeah.
It was very apparent that there was favoritism happening. And I don't care who you are, if you're in a competition that can't feel good. At least I know for me as a competitor, if I knew that I was getting by not because of my talent in a competition, but because people were favoring me, I would not feel good about being in the competition. And so I think that's what the relief came from, because as we talked about before, she's very aware, right? Georgia, the one thing Georgia is not is delusional. Yeah, it's been probably really hard on her seeing like I'm not doing well, but here I am among people who are doing far better than me. And I know the only reason I'm here is because RuPaul likes me.
But then here's the thing. That's a moment where she needs to step her pussy up.
Mm-hmm.
Ru liked you for a reason, so prove why she likes you. Obviously, you got something in you. She just went the opposite way.
But I think, you know, and we talked about this last week, that level of fear, right? That level of fear is so difficult to overcome. Like when you're afraid of not doing something well. I don't get that she doesn't believe in herself. I get that she's afraid.
That's what she doesn't believe she could do this competition.
I don't get that either.
When she hears the competition, she's like, I can't do that.
Yeah, but I just see. I don't get that, right? But she is
said it.
saying, but she's saying those words. But when she's saying those words, I don't believe that she means them the way that she's saying them, right? The
Like, it's
same way
just
we talk
armor.
about,
Like, it's her armor that she puts up.
right? It's the same way we talk about the word delusion, right? When people say delusion, they don't really mean delusion, and I don't think she really means it that way. I think she means I'm afraid of doing this, but she can't say that, right? So she says, "This is stupid," or "I'm not good at this," or "I don't want to do it," because really, what she's really saying is, "I'm afraid to look stupid,"
And she did.
and she ends up doing it anyway.
Yeah, whatever. Next, we ain't got to talk about it no more.
So
Let's go back to the beginning because I'm all confused on where we at. So let's go back to the beginning when they did those damn portraits for that mini challenge.
What did they do to RuPaul?
Girl, Deja is delusional. Okay, let's talk about delusion. Let's segue to Deja. Deja thought she was killing that nose, and I'm like, Deja, I ain't never seen that nose on nobody.
What did she?
And RuPaul was speechless. She was touched. She was like,
"You did me dirty."
She's like, does everybody think my nose look like this? I'm about to do plastic surgery.
Yo, what were they thinking? What was that harsh black line that they didn't even blend on her cheek?
I actually thought
Kid Mark.
The Dolly one looked pretty good.
The Dolly one was beautiful. They did a really good job.
Her nose wasn't great either, but it wasn't RuPaul's.
It was subtler.
It was very subtle. You couldn't. It wasn't leaping off the television screen into your house. Like RuPaul's nose was sitting on the couch with me. It was so wrong.
Somewhere Raven's like, this is why I do her makeup.
Right. Oh my goodness. It was so bad.
Oh goodness gracious. Not as bad as Deja's outfits, but bad enough.
The only thing I wish for the challenge, they kept zooming in like really close. And so we didn't get to see like a lot of the queens actually like painting stuff. Right. Yeah. The camera work was weird in this challenge. So I was like, well, the fun part
it was because they wanted us to see the final product.
Yeah. But I'm like, the fun part is seeing the queens like try to do stuff.
I don't know if I like this mini challenge. I mean, it was cute.
It was okay.
But I especially don't like it because the winning 4 queens decide who, like, the order. And I was like, well, that's...
I thought that was cool. I actually
but it's like, what's the point then? Because you got 4 queens who are going to have to decide where each of them are going to be, and then they're going to put the 3 wherever. It's just too many cooks in the kitchen.
But I think it actually still worked out because everyone ended up where they wanted to be. So no one was sabotaged. No one had too much power. Yeah. And so I thought it ended up being pretty good. I agree.
I like it when someone has more power. What's the point of winning that prize?
Yeah, I know what I'm saying. I agree that
no one's a monarchy.
Right. Initially, I thought 4 people are too many to do it, but it ended up working out perfectly, if you ask me.
You know what this mini challenge reminded me of is that challenge that was not great where they had to redo the rooms or like paint the room.
Yeah.
And what it is trying to force branding and like sponsorship into like a challenge, right? So you're like, you have Anastasia Beverly Hills.
Product integration.
Yeah. And you're like, well, let's work this palette in somehow. And so it all seems like very forced and it's not as fun as like the reading challenge or like just like some fun quick drag, or whatever. So if you guys were in a roast, where would you put yourself in the
first?
Order?
Yeah, I would do first.
Yeah, first. Yeah, first or last. I'm funny, right? And I know that I'm funny. My problem is that I cannot tell jokes. So if I had someone helping me put jokes to my natural funny, I'd be great. So like when Michelle and Dulce are giving me notes, I'm writing down everything they say. I'm doing exactly what they say because
the opposite of Deja.
Right. Because exactly like Angeria, right? I know that I'm going to stand up there with confidence. I'm going to deliver in a way that is fun and that invites you in, because I thought Angeria was really funny. Even though they were saying her jokes weren't funny, I thought they were funny because I was having fun.
Yeah.
And she was having fun, right? It's the same thing as like doing karaoke. You've all done karaoke with me. And people tell me constantly, you're such a good singer. No, I'm not, but you're entertained by me.
Right.
You're having fun. And so because you're having fun when I'm up there doing karaoke, you translate that into, oh my God, you're a good singer. My voice is terrible, but you're always going to have fun when I'm on the stage because I'm having fun.
Exactly.
So I definitely want to be first or last. I don't want to be in the middle. Like, I want to be first or last because I want to get it over with, or I want to close the show.
Yeah, there is something nice about, well, first you can kind of like do some welcome stuff and welcome jokes, but last is nice because you could choose any bad moment that happened throughout and like get a good laugh in immediately, right? About like someone that came before you or some bomb or bad joke that happened before. I'm not sure. I was trying to think about that while I was watching. And so you would go first too, Joe?
Yeah, I would go first. I don't think I would be so quick to collect what everybody was doing to be last and make jokes. I would love to go first to set the tone. If I'm not funny, I can definitely get the room like energized for these next queens.
Okay, so speaking of order, though, this goes back again. Like Willow is so smart and a little shady, where she's like, "I'm so happy to go after. I just want to go after Georgia's."
Yeah, I was like, I'll go third.
and it
I love
worked.
her strategy play.
Which does such, and it's like only to the producers do we know that. She doesn't make it known ever to like anybody else that she's just like her gears are always turning.
She doesn't need to toot her own horn.
No,
No,
exactly.
I'll show you.
They give such good feedback when you're like, especially for the roast. I think, I mean, for the acting challengers too, it's so important to like take their feedback and like use it. But Dulce was a tough customer.
He was, but you have to be like,
no, in a good way. And I was just
season
like,
14.
Yeah.
What?
I said it's season 14.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just, and I think that is what you don't need someone to laugh politely because they're uncomfortable, right?
Right.
You need someone to be like, no, that doesn't work.
Right.
That's not funny.
It was maddening that of all the people, they told Deja to do it all over. And Deja didn't listen to them at all. But Deja says, I'm not a comedy queen. Then why you ain't listening? You ain't a listening queen either?
Joe, that hits it on the head. If you know you are not good at something, if someone tells you to do it differently, do it.
Right.
If someone good at it tells you to do it, do it.
Yeah. Especially if they're a pro. It wasn't George's telling her to do it.
Right.
Right.
When she opened with that lame joke that they told her not to use, I was just like, what are you doing?
It's like, we heard this, bitch. It wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny before. It's not going to be funny now.
She should have made fun of her outfit because that shit was hilarious.
Oh, my God. That outfit was so bad.
The multi-print power clashing.
Yeah.
That was not power clashing.
And let me tell you.
And I love the throw to 30 Rock. Yeah. That was not power clashing.
I love when she was like, Ross, they think I'm more masculine than you. I don't get it. And she's like, it's the flannel.
Yeah, you know it's bad when the judges are getting more laughs than you because they're getting uncomfortable. So they're like, well, we might as well spice this up a little bit with some actual jokes.
Right. So let's just get into the jokes and the fashion. Yeah. So Bosco comes in and is absolutely killing it. The outfit, the hair, all fantastic. I love that she switched up that opening joke and really turned it into something funny. Then after that, you're in. And I think that's the key to comedy. You have to let people in with that first joke. And as soon as you get people laughing, you set them up to continue laughing.
Right.
So they're already like, okay, this person's going to be funny because they gave me a good joke. Now all you have to do is be moderately funny, and you'll keep people laughing and you'll build on that. And that's what Bosco did.
Was Bosco the only one that kind of poked fun at herself? I feel like that is such a good humor technique that not enough people I felt used during the roast.
And her best joke, in my opinion, was when she said, Ross Matthews, you're not a top, you're a blouse. I was like, that tickled me. I was like, girl, that was good.
Nope. RuPaul, you are also verse, a hunter and a gatherer. That's right there. Yeah. That was the joke. We hear the old jokes about RuPaul all the time.
Yeah.
So it's always fun to see where people can really take that
and make it original.
Yeah, and make it original.
Okay, so the next person was Georges.
Yes, Georges was next. And then there was Willow. So
Georges was exactly as expected.
Yeah.
It was just, there was nothing that was surprising. It was exactly what we all thought.
It was actually, her energy was surprising to me. I thought she was very energetic. I thought she was going to be like she was in that robe in the workroom.
Oh, yeah.
But she seemed like she was very energetic. It's just her breaks in between the jokes was just super uncomfortable, you know?
And I wonder if that's something that the editors, of course, exaggerated for us, you know, that they kept showing them on purpose.
They showed some of her additional jokes and Untucked. There were worse ones.
Yeah, she was. Look, she wasn't good.
That was the best cut.
No one expected her to be good.
Not even Georges.
Yeah, right. And that's why she wasn't good, because she is so afraid to do anything but be pretty, right? And it's why Carrie Colby is gone, right? Because she was so afraid to do anything but be pretty. There has to be more. There has to be more. Speaking of more, Willow, who continued to give us more. She knows the rule of three, right? She gave you something expected, bam, something not expected.
Yeah, like the joke about Camden.
Yes, it was so good. Like masterclass in knowing what to do when you're holding a microphone in a comedy challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like also the way she tells jokes and what she said, it's like only Willow can make those up, right? She's just so smart. And I think the queens that can, like we were saying earlier, like not just be like, Michelle's a whore, Ross really gay, you know, RuPaul's old, you know, you have to mix it up and like have some originality to really make it work.
Oh my gosh, how many times did we hear Ross is so gay? I was like, okay, I get it. He's a homosexual.
Super homosexual. He's master homosexual.
I can't remember any. So I remember how Willow started. I'm trying to think of her other jokes from the set, and I even rewatched it.
The end joke that she gave about Angeria was really good right before she
introduced the Rumpelstiltskin.
Yes. With all the grace of Diana Ross and the face of Rumpelstiltskin.
I wanted Willow to kill. I wish Willow would have had like a couple more like in jokes, but I enjoyed it. But I just wish Willow had just a couple more like zingers to put on top.
I think the problem is when you have jokes that take a minute to set up, you know, it's not as punchy.
Also, I don't think Willow was mean enough. Right. Yeah. I think she could have gone a little harder.
It was more of a bake than a roast.
Ross even said something along those lines. It's like, instead of just like taking little jabs, like we want you to jab the knife in and twist it around. Like that is what a roast is. Yeah. You have to really push yourself beyond what you think is the line, but do it tastefully. I mean, there's a way to do it, right?
It's hard.
Okay, so who is next?
Daya. And before
did we talk about Andrew?
We talked about her earlier, but
Okay, but
we can
Angeria was next after Willis.
Yeah, Angeria was next. Yeah, but we talked about her earlier. But yeah, we can go back and do a little more on Angeria.
In the same way, when was the challenge that they had to do where it was like dramatic, untucked, whatever, where she was just herself, essentially, and they kept giving that, trying to help like Georgia and other queens be like, just pretend like you're how would you talk with your friends?
And that's what Angeria was doing.
Yes.
Make us be, and Angeria, we were just like, okay, we're in the living room with you, or like we're out to drinks with you, and you're just like telling us hilarious things.
Yes.
So no matter what, we're with you. Like we are just like, this is so fun because she's so fun anyway. She can say whatever, and we're like, you've got great energy, and your little accent's so cute. So we're here for it. I thought her jokes were pretty funny. Like, it wasn't like they were missing every time.
Yeah, they weren't missing. It was funny, right? It wasn't hilarious. It wasn't run home and like record this for HBO special, but it was funny and you were entertained.
Yeah,
that was it.
She had one of my favorite jokes of the night, which was she was roasting Dulce and it was just like, baby, how you feeling? Okay as hell.
Yeah.
I thought like Diet Lizzo.
Diet Lizzo.
I thought that was so good.
I thought all of her jokes were good. They weren't amazing. It wasn't, hilarious. It was a step above a dad joke, right? Where the joke is like funny and you're like, you're trying it, but I'm gonna give you this laugh because you earned it, but you barely earned it, right? But they were all good. They were all good jokes.
And I know we were worried about Angeria, so I'm so happy she just didn't get in her head, didn't get nervous. Just she seems so relaxed up there, even if she wasn't. She
is a consummate professional,
Yeah.
Right? She comes out every time, and it doesn't matter what the challenge is. She either is going to succeed or she's going to fail, but she's going to do it wholeheartedly. She has not gone into a single challenge half-hearted. No matter if she was good at something beforehand or if she wasn't good at it, she has continued to give her 100% effort every week, and that cannot be understated.
Yeah.
Her attitude is more so like, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm just going to bring Angie.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's all we want.
That's it. That's exactly kind of like the mantra that Gottmik was last season, where Gottmik's like, I've never done this before, but I'm just going to bring what I got. And I'm going to sell it. And that's all you can do.
And we love what she's got. So just keep doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of people bringing themselves, this is another OT moment. I am going to back off of Daya. And here's why.
Wait, is this the time to say you're going to back out Daya from her challenge?
Yeah. Because here's why I'm
ready to go in.
Here's why I'm backing off of Daya. And I'm not going, that doesn't mean I'm not going to be honest about my critiques. It just means I'm actually going to give critiques. I'm actually going to talk about Daya. As you notice, I'm saying her name and not calling her Voldemort, and even continuing to talk about her. I finally saw a crack in the armor. I finally feel like this week I saw a flash of the real Daya Betty, and I've not been able to say that until today.
Which part?
It was just the whole thing. It wasn't like a specific moment. It was just each piece of what they were showing this week. None of it felt put on. It didn't feel staged or produced or phony. I felt like I finally saw who actual Daya Betty is. That for me is all I want, right? If real Daya Betty is that mean, great. I'm here for it. But it never felt real. It never felt authentic. This week, everything she did, everything she said felt very authentic. And for that, I will back down off Daya.
But
she was not good.
You know why? Because she told us she wasn't.
That roast was not good. Yes, and that there was.
And they even told her not to do that.
Fake it till you make it, bitch.
Worse you can do then get ready to perform and then tell people you're not going to be good at your performance.
Yeah.
Because now you've set my expectation and I've also checked out. Just go up and enjoy it. Just be
Right.
in the moment.
And then weirdly, the meanest queen of the season was the nicest during the roast.
Which is why I said there was the crack, right?
Yeah.
Because if you are really mean like that, like she's been portraying herself to be,
Right.
roasting should have been the easiest
Right.
thing.
But she was just projecting her like insecurities and stuff onto everybody. Isn't that what Bosco was highlighting earlier in the
but that's what I'm saying, right? Those were the cracks in the armor, right? Those were the moments where you got to see like this is the actual inner workings of the mind of Diabetti. All that other crap that we've been seeing over the last few weeks, false.
Turns out the inner workings are not very funny.
They are not funny.
At that point I was like, okay, well, Georges and Di are in the bottom.
Yeah.
And then
here comes Dave. And then I was like, damn, she should be in the bottom for that outfit. God damn, that outfit is ugly.
If Deja just would have stood there in that outfit, that would have been hilarious. She should have just pointed at different parts of the outfit and she would have won.
What do you think, y'all? I made this. You want me to do a dress for you? I can do a dress for you.
Honey, that dress was the comedy. Okay?
Missed opportunity.
What? It was bad.
It was so bad.
Like making a joke about Michelle's vagina smelling. It was all just so like didn't hit. It was distasteful. It was not good.
You can't go for I don't like when people go for the lowest common denominator. It has to be complimentary if it's going to be crude. It can't be crude and insulting.
The thing about the roasts that make me feel like the most anxiety or awkward is when people tell a joke, it's not landing at all, and then they try to double down by like adding on something, ad-libbing something onto it or whatever, and it just keeps getting more and more like awkward. And I'm like, just let it go. You just on to the next.
Didn't laugh for a reason.
Yeah,
right. We didn't laugh the first time. We're not going to laugh. Add something to something we didn't laugh at.
Yeah, you're trying to like pull laughs out where there are none, and it's such a desperate move, and it just makes me like my skin crawl. I'm like, no, just go. It didn't land. On to the next. You know, Deja did that quite a few times, which made it even
the whole set. That was trash.
Yeah. And speaking of throwing things away, let's throw away talking about Deja and that set and move on to our dear lady Camden, who
charming
just continues to push herself to the top of this pack.
Yeah.
Like just continues to push herself all the way to the top. And at this point, and I said it last week, like this is Willow, Camden, or Angeria's to lose. And really at this point, it's Willow and Camden's to lose. Those are the two people who I really see coming out on top unless we get that stupid freaking wheel. I don't see how this doesn't end up being Camden or Willow. But anyway, to Camden's set. Very fun.
Would you like immediately, because she was like, thank God that's over.
Yes.
It's like immediate breaking of the tension.
Yes,
we're all laughing.
Changes all the energy.
And the fact that someone called out the Georges preference bias, like, and made a joke of it, I was loving. And then
that knock joke. knock. I don't know, but Michelle's a whore. That was so stupid.
And again, it's so stupid. What's that, Joe?
It's her delivery.
Exactly. I was just gonna say it's like the speed and timing of that joke, because it works when you do it the right way.
And you know I love stupid, and it was stupid because I was like, that made no sense, but I'm laughing because it was stupid. I love stupid.
Mhm.
And I know they didn't like the ass echoing
I thought those were funny.
joke, but they were so stupid. And the thing I noticed later is, but you all are still talking about it and like laughing about it, right?
Yeah.
And making jokes about it later. So clearly it stuck.
It's
And maybe because it was the last joke of the night. But
and people were laughing at it way more than Deja and Daya and Georges.
yeah.
And
it was super memorable. Like you said, it had legs.
Yeah.
Right. It's one of those things that it didn't feel, I guess, to the judges, because to me it felt funny in the moment, but it didn't feel funny to them in the moment. But here they are throwing back to it constantly. They threw back to it for the rest of the episode. You can't deny the funny.
Because again, it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah,
like yelling up Ross's ass is so ridiculous.
It was stupid.
She sold it. She sold it. She's like, she did the whole motion, and then
Ross.
I thought it was funny.
What is the meaning of life?
It's Britney, bitch.
I thought it was funny, Lady Camden.
Yeah.
Bring it to the runway. I'm going to be completely honest. I forgot most of the runway.
Oh, I did not. The tutus. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. There we go.
So
there it is.
So here we go. We're gonna start with Bosco. I got it from here. Okay.
Yeah.
Bosco with the chainsaw tutus.
That was everything.
Mwah.
Oh.
Get it, bitch.
And I just love when a queen wears something that I'm like, nobody else would ever think of this.
Yes, it was,
and does it well, right? Because
Willow level unexpected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
Because immediately you're just like, oh my God, that I no one would have thought of this. And you're so creative.
And it was asymmetric, like all the saws, it wasn't perfect. It was the blood splatters. It was
eyes. It was beautiful.
It was the
hair,
makeup, the hair. It was perfection.
Yeah.
That is how you do it. When the drag gods save you, that is how you thank them.
Yes.
Right? You come out, you have on a killer outfit in the challenge, you slay the challenge, and then you come out and you trample all over that runway, and then you piss on it to let people know I own this. And that's what Bosco did.
She was like, who should go home now?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Anybody?
Yeah. Who should go home now?
Right. It was everything. It was everything. It was the ultimate redemption. It was the ultimate like slap in the face. Like, you said I should go home and watch what I do.
It was not my favorite though. I will say.
No, it wasn't my favorite either. But that's at that moment, even me and Corey were like, she won.
Yeah.
She won this week.
I mean, because her roast was so strong that it would have had to really take a bomb, a Deja level bomb on the runway.
You almost made me spit my water.
All right, next is Georges. Was this a tutu?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was tutu adjacent.
No, this is a dress with a lot of like tulle underneath the bottom part, because a tutu is a separate piece that you wear around the waist.
That looked like a whole dress to me.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but she didn't get red for it yet.
What? She doesn't get red for anything. The shoulder pads, the chaps.
No.
Yeah, true.
At least it wasn't a bra and panties, I guess.
I did. It wasn't a bra and panties. I didn't love the outfit. The leather jacket was cute, but that was store-bought. Next.
All right. So now we have Willow. Oh my damn. Now Willow was my I have a top two. Willow was one of my top twos.
I know I love it because I usually am like just me by myself, like watching, so whatever. But when I have audible responses, when people turn that corner, and I was just like, bitch, I like said it out loud. I was that was amazing. That was amazing. And again, who else is thinking of that with like the crazy cosmetic, like overly done plastic surgery makeup?
Yeah.
The amazing wig with like the knots or like, the tucked in. It was
good.
So good.
The guest judge was like, do I understand the lips? No. Do I want them? Yes.
Yes.
I absolutely loved Willow.
That outfit was phenomenal.
That's a good rebound from last week.
Yeah, so beautiful.
Wait, what happened last week? I don't know. I forgot about it. Doesn't matter.
Right. It was fantastic. Yeah. Good job, Willow. Who came out next? It was Angeria in the lime green.
Yeah.
Which I thought was beautiful. I wasn't getting tutu from it in the way I wanted to get tutu. And I like when she explained the dress as she was walking down, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But at first look, if I saw that dress, I don't think tutu.
Have we seen Angeria's legs on the runway yet this season?
Yeah, the Lula Parusa.
No, I mean on the runway.
No, not on the runway. No, she's always
gowned out.
She's had like something short, but then she had boots on.
It was more tutu than Georgis's was tutu, but
definitely
still adjacent.
It was 2 tutus more, or 3 tutus more than Georgis's.
Two.
And then next is Daya. I loved this look.
I thought the look was cool.
I thought it's very Daya. It was gorgeous.
It's so drag to be like, I'm already super tall. You know what I'm gonna do? Put on these
taller
11-inch or whatever they were heels, which I don't understand how anybody walks in those. And it was hard for her, you could tell, but she did it. Yeah. And you're just towering. She was towering over that stage.
And I was like, girl, I hope you got a second pair of shoes for when you lip sync.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. I was like, you gonna break everything.
So who's next?
Do we have to talk about Deja? Can we just
I have something to say. Deja, I'm taking my glasses off. Deja is a seamstress, but couldn't do nothing to that dress. That dress was so ill-fitting. She looked like that, the cupcake wrapper after you take out the cupcake.
Bye, Joe. I quit the show. Nope, but I'm not doing this.
What the fuck was that?
So
what the fuck was that? It was just I don't understand. If she brought it, fine. But she's a seamstress. They have like stuff to add or embellish clothing or whatnot. And they even said it takes no time to clamp it up. What the hell was it?
And the fact, what was even more insulting is then when the judges point out the ill fit, she kind of was like, yeah. I'm like, so you knew? You knew it was ill-fitting and you still walked out on that damn runway? I just don't understand what she's doing backstage. What is she looking in the mirror?
And
what kind of critical thinking is happening back there?
And weirdly, Deja seems like one of those people who you can't tell anything. So I feel like even if the other queens tried to point it out to Deja and was like, hey, Deja, you can do, this is off or blah, blah. She'd be like, I'm good. Thanks, though. Right? This
is one of my favorite looks. So.
Right. Yeah, I just get the sense that you can't tell Deja anything.
And the judges,
just like with the judges with the comedy challenge.
Yeah.
She disregarded that. Deja, why did you come to a competition where there's judges if you ain't gonna listen to the critiques?
And the judges said that they did like what was happening from the neck up. I didn't. I
think the neck up meaning they didn't like the dress.
No, I thought they liked her makeup. I liked the wig. I thought the wig was great.
Looked like frosting on top of that cupcake.
Yeah. I have not liked her makeup all season, and this was classic Deja makeup that I did not like. There was not much to like.
That was the bottom look again for Deja.
'Twas. Speaking of bottom, there must be a top in order to have a bottom. And if we are talking about top, we are talking about Lady Camden and that damn tutu.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Absolutely beautiful.
That was.
I need a fainting couch.
Stunning.
I wish
Oh my
I wish we betted on the queens this season
That
because I'll be raking in all the doughs.
that was one of the most beautiful looks I've ever seen on the show.
Gorgeous.
She looked stunning.
Yeah.
Stunning.
I love just seeing that whole runway started with Bosco with an edgy tutu and then ending with Camden with a classic but dragged up tutu.
Yeah.
And just seeing like how different but how beautiful they both were. I was like, oh, this is
Yeah. It was
because those are tutus. Both.
Yes.
So that is a tutu.
Everyone else, but those are
Those were tutus.
Beautiful.
I was so proud of Camden for coming out in heels because in that outfit it would have been very easy to walk on point, right? Come out walking on point, but she didn't. She came out in heels and it, like you said, Kelly, it dragged it up. It changed the entire illusion, right? From classic, beautiful ballerina to like edgy, cool, sexy ballerina. That one little detail for me changed the way I looked at the entire outfit.
And
because she walks out on point, it looks completely ballerina.
The makeup, the hair, like all of it was so good.
It was
phenomenal. Just like I was thinking when because she was talking later about, this is my dream look. Like when I was a little kid, I was like, all I want is to look like that. And when I look in the mirror, like that's what I see. And you could tell, just like Carrie in one of her favorite outfits, that she felt like a superstar. You could see it. It just seeped from her that it was like, I look incredible.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Loved it. I was so proud of her. It was everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
It's good when it's like, because it's easy to rewatch like Moulin Rouge, like some of the things like that. But I don't usually rewatch like the runway parts, maybe just to remember what the outfits were. But I rewatched hers several times because I was just like, this is so good.
Yeah, not the first time either. Remember when she did the whole the fall and then came up as like Freddie Mercury? Lady Camden's been given some great runway moments.
Yeah,
rewatchable moments.
And I'm so happy because she talked about this. She thought the judges might not like it if she did like traditional looking ballet outfit, right? Or ballet tutu. But I'm so happy she did because that was everything.
And so is the rest of the world because we didn't deserve that, but we got it anyway.
So at this point, I'm looking at the runway and based on the performance. And what did y'all think? Who did y'all think were the bottom two? Like, I thought it was definitely going to be Georges and Deja.
I thought it was Georges and Deja too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that Daya was going to be in bottom three.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Daya was going to be bottom three. I did not think Daya was going to lip sync, but I thought because of history, RuPaul was going to let Georges off the hook again because RuPaul was actually laughing at Georges, like audibly laughing out loud. And I thought,
when nobody else was.
I thought Ru was going to give Georges a pass. I really did.
Those are pity laughs.
I almost thought it was going to be Deja and Georges, and both of them were going to go home. Because we talked about last week, it's like maybe a slow song, maybe something. And I'm like, I could see, based on the energy that they're giving off this episode, that it's those two in the bottom, and it's just a boring, lackluster, kind of meh performance.
What I thought was very interesting, and we were kind of left in a little gray because we watched the Untucked, right? And we noticed that the only queens really like lip syncing or practicing were Georges and Deja, right? It was all attention on them. And what's very interesting is that This song, Olivia Rodrigo's song, is a total, like if you looked at everyone in the cast, it's a Daya song, hands down.
Yep.
Deja would kill like a ballad.
And
Georgia
she did.
will kill anything dancey. And
Yep.
then you have the unique angst song that doesn't get played a lot on RuPaul's Drag Race. And oh, here's Daya.
Yep.
So it's very interesting that of all this, finally, this was the perfect opportunity to eliminate two queens who are great lip syncers, but not in this genre of song.
No.
Justifiably, they both got eliminated. Like I
could
not take my eyes off Diabetti. I thought Diabetti was killing the song. I thought I could feel the emotions through the screen. Like,
yeah,
you
need that edgy anger.
Yeah, it was the perfect way to lip sync to that song. And I thought that Diabetti should have won, and I'm very glad that Diabetti won. I was very nervous.
My biggest critique for all three of them, though, is that's one of those songs similar to like Kelly Clarkson has a lot of these songs, and they're one of my favorites where it's like slowly build, and then the chorus is just like like where it just explodes. The chorus explodes. There's so much you can do with songs like that when the chorus comes, right? To really just go crazy, or to like emote, or to like get down on your knees, or like rip out your hair, and I just feel like nobody, and they knew two queens were going home. I feel like nobody gave like it all, and I think for that song it would have been a great opportunity to do that.
I get that, but Georges was definitely not doing that. I don't think Georges even understands the song. Deja, I can't see necessarily Deja doing that all over the stage. No. And then Daya is not comfortable lip syncing.
I always am kind of internally judging in my head about like, okay, let's say I got pulled up on a stage, and it was me against two other people, and this song came on. Like, if I think I could give more right now than without practicing than the queens that are up there, then I'm like, that's not a pass for me, And I know with that song, I could do more than what they were doing. Maybe not in heels though. Yeah, so
fair.
So we're at condos and condones, yes?
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna do condo. Rue's outfit. Condo. Gorgeous. I think my favorite of the season. That shit was flowy. She looked like an angel.
It was very Bob Mackie. It was perfect. As a matter of fact, it was about a Bob Mackie remake, right? Didn't Cher have something like that, or Diana Ross? It was a redo of one of those sort of dresses.
Rue's been killing it all season. I don't know
necessarily what Bob Mackie does. I've heard of the name, but Rue looked great.
Yeah.
I can't be gay with you anymore.
It's okay.
My can do is twofold from Untucked with Willow. Number one, and this goes like similar to how the googly eyes earlier in the season tickled me. The fact that like Deja was having a moment and it was all emotional, and then they would just pan to Willow, and with that makeup and the lips, she was just like every time she didn't emote anything. So it just looked like she was like dazed and kind of did not care about what was happening. I was dying. Also, when she kept trying to talk and Camden kept losing her shit. The other thing with Willow was I thought it was so cute that her family were wearing her t-shirts.
Yeah.
I was just like, that's such a cute family thing to do.
My can-do is Bosco. For me, when queens get a second chance, for some reason, and we've seen it so often in the past, they get stuck in their head and they're worried about doing anything wrong or making a misstep because they are afraid to get eliminated again. And Bosco was sort of treading that at the beginning of the episode. So I was nervous. But to pull through the way that Bosco pulled through this week, that is a can-do. Take notes, queens, right? This is what you do when you get a second chance. This is what you do when you get another opportunity where you did not see one. You completely attack and you go out and you give everything. You don't hold anything back. And I think that's what Bosco did this week. Like Bosco really, really put everything on the line. And for me, that is a can-do.
And that's the opposite of what we talked about with Georgia, because Bosco believes in herself. Like
Right.
Bosco, no matter what, you can all say that I should go home. I can actually have a rough week. All of this, but I believe wholeheartedly I can be funny. I can be a good drag queen. I can be in the top. And this kind of performance shows you what happens when you do believe that, right? All right.
Yeah. My condone, and we talked about this earlier. Don't waste the judges' times, especially the guest judge. They're there to help you out. Deja, that one's for you.
And she knew it. She knew she had been insulting, and too bad. You should have listened.
Or it's not the first time this has happened on Drag Race, so Queen should be very aware. Everyone knows to listen to RuPaul.
Yep.
So
and they still don't, though, sometimes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, listen to the guest judges.
My condone was a tiny one that I even had to rewind, but I caught during the lip sync, and maybe you guys did too. Georgia, towards the end, there's like a drum solo where it's like, like that, and Georgia's doing the air guitar, and I'm like,
I did not catch that. Now I gotta go back and watch it.
But you know what? It's very Georgia's.
It's very Georgia's. And again, going back to like the song, what you could do with it, because it is fun to like air drum, in those moments. But she played the wrong instrument, so
don't play the wrong instrument. My condone is to the entire cast. Condone have a challenge that's about Ross Matthews and not have more than 50% of your jokes about Ross Matthews.
I noticed that too.
I felt like it was very light on Ross Matthews jokes, right? Like it was, there were moments where people talked about him, but I feel like if that's the star of the roast, at least 50% of your material should be only about Ross Matthews.
I will have to say I probably wouldn't have been able to do well with this. If they say, "Oh, you're roasting Ross," I'm like, "Oh shit." Well,
Carson, I feel like Carson would have been easier than Ross.
Carson would have been easier.
Well, I think that's it. Thank you. No. Thank you all once again for joining us for Condone Yourself. Please tune in next week where we break down episode 37-45 of season 14. Drag Race.
Only 5 queens left, though.
Oh my God, yes. We're finally to the point where there are 5 queens. So we will finally get to a top 4 seemingly in the next week or so. So please.
The finale is in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Already?
Please. Did you say already? Oh, please be sure to tune in. Also, do not forget to follow us on TikTok at Condone Yourself and Instagram at Condone Yourself. And if you're feeling up to it, email us at Condone Yourself Podcast. So we are here for all of it. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I don't want to be a fool for you. I'm just another player in your game for 2. You may hate me, but it ain't no lie. Bye, bye, bye. We do not own the rights to that music.